The bay window build continues. So here I have a SketchUp design which I've done. It's helpful for me to visualize what I need to be doing. I've got the bay window with the two rows of brick detail, and the bit I'm mainly going to be focusing on today is the ledger board, which is just a little bit installed onto the wall. I had some threaded rods which I was planning on using. They were 130 millimeters in length, so given the 45 millimeter thickness of the ledger board, it was about 100 millimeter fixing into the wall. Here I've got the wall plate set out. It's in place. I haven't permanently fixed it yet. There's some changes I want to do to that. But here you can see the wall plate. It's been installed on top of the string course, which is the main bit of the bay window. That's all done now. And you can see the LED flashing. That's kind of there, still in the way. Marked the centre, which is just there. That's going to be the centre of the ridge board, and my datum, everything comes from there. I used a few references to get this centre marking. Partly it needed to align with the hip rafters, so the left and right extent of the ledger board would intersect with the hip rafters, and they would follow the corner of the bay window. So here I have a level where I'm attempting to extend the corner from the outermost string course onto the wall. And well, yeah, there's no instruction manual on this. I don't know what I'm doing, but from when I was doing the sills, I kind of worked out that was an important aspect of the design, or a key reference. So here I'm using the level to transfer the corner onto the wall, but as I was finding out, I needed to add in the timber, so I was having a measurement with this, which was too short, so I needed to add in the timber, which would be result in the correct measurement, basically, because it's positioned off the wall. So I found the easiest way was to put a rafter up against the wall and make the references and the marks from the corners onto these. Also accounted for the thickness, so it gave me the more accurate measurement. But here you can see the top of the string course without the wall plate, and I've got these these threaded rods sticking out, which I'm using to anchor the wall plate in place. It's not really necessary. You can also see some kind of grout holes there, which are filled with a cementous grout, and in there you've got it's about a 2 meter stainless steel rod that goes through the structure of the string course, through the header, down through the mullions to the sill, so it kind of holds it all together. Probably all completely unnecessary, but given the design, it all seemed to work out quite well. I've spent the last few hours marking out best I can and the position of the ridge board, or the width of the ridge board. So I'm going to have ridge board is going to set the ledger board on the wall, attach the wall, and that joins with the common rafters on both sides and the hip rafter, and then the common rafters for the front elevation pitch. So I've tried a number of different ways, and I seem to have managed to align with what I've got here. So this is the outer extent of the, I forgot if that's the internal side of the wall plate. There, but the centre of that should be the centre where I've marked it here. But I think importantly, I was trying to work out the width of the ridge board, which is between that mark there and that mark there, and these were the other measurements, so there's quite a variety. My design was saying it's going to be 397 millimeters. This is about 400, and because of some lead flashing that's in the way there, it's bringing out the ridge board a bit more further from the wall, so it would make sense if it was closer to the wall that the distance would then be closer to the design. So 400 millimeters is good enough. So I'm just going to tally that up here with what I've got marked and end up cutting the ridge board. So 400 millimeter ridge board. Again, the design, what I was aiming to do. Now I had a bit of a problem. I did all that. First thing is I had some problems with the wall plate, so I used my spade bit, I think it's called, because I needed to have holes or space for the nuts and bolts, and then a drill bit through there. So first do the drilling with the spade bit, and then you drill the hole, because it's impossible to drill a spade bit once you've already drilled the hole. So I thought it was all nice and tidy, it seemed to be going quite well, and then it got to the point where I needed to position it against the wall. So okay, do that, marking against the wall, and the two holes are exactly in the mortar lines. So I needed to move everything, I needed to have a second attempt. So okay, attempt number 2. These should go in bricks, that's going in mortar. Not ideal. You can only work with what you got, right? So I got that onto the wall. Small mercies. Yeah, several hours of work. Not perfect. I don't know, the one of the sides, the actual threaded rod is too far into the wall, so, and it's set very quickly, so I'm going to have to redo that one. So attempt number 3, I'll just have to use my spade bit to recess that hole a bit more. And also the hole wasn't exactly spot on, so I had to have a second attempt at drilling that. So I'll move that hole just a little bit. But yeah, that's just in place at the moment, like with the wall plate. It's all in place until I'm happy with it, and I'll be able to permanently fix it once I'm happy that I'm on the right track with things. So next is going to be the ridge, I don't know what you call them, the ridge rafters, but basically common rafters, but on against the wall, not into the wall, but rafters supporting on the wall plate. I have some tidying up to do the lead flashing at some point, so I remove that. And yeah, so here on the bay window design, it's basically the rafters that are against the wall. They're just common rafters. On both sides they're the same, so hopefully once I do one I can do the other. On the wall plate I do have a wall return I need to cut into that for the rafter to sit in. And also, well yeah, I've got the hip rafters to do, lots of different beveled cuts. Yeah, I'm sure that will take a few attempts. And then I think the common rafters there, you can see I've got them against the hip. I think that's fine. Yeah, that's what I want. I was thinking maybe I could just have a middle common rafter, but the spacing is more than 400 millimeters. So that's generally the layout I'm going for the rafters, and I suppose that will take me much of the week to get that done. In a last published video, I was doing the mullions, building up the mullions and the jambs, and I got that done to the roof window opening, and here you can see the interior. I've got in place the structural insulation, which is forming the window opening, and that's where the window will be installed. I'm doing a passive house, so it's trying to be as energy efficient as possible. This design is, well, yeah, a bit convoluted. I've got on the exterior half of the bay, I have stone or thermal blocks, which will be rendered, and on the interior side I have the structural insulation. So it's the best compromise I could find by having a traditional looking bay, Victorian bay, as traditional as possible, and something that was thermally efficient as well, without having lots of internal wall insulation. So here you can see that's all been done. Then moving on, installed some lintels. Whether I needed lintels, I'm not sure. But you have lintels above the windows. So yeah, I'm not a builder, but I did my research and I have to make some decisions. I decided to go for a lintel, partly because with the headers that I'm producing, I'm actually making the headers myself, and here you can see the design. It follows the design of the headers on the street. And here you got a header and a string course. So I was able to cast them myself using SketchUp to produce a design and a 3D print out of the model. It allowed me to produce a cast. But you know, that's episodes of itself. But here you can see the header sitting on the lintel and the damp-proof course, which is in the back. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing more of that content, then you put some in the comments. So it took me several hours to just put that ledger board onto the wall, and 2 goes, and it's still not quite right. I've another go that I'm going to do on one of the sides of the wall plate. The thing is, I've only got enough wood to actually do 1 roof. I don't have enough wood to do 3 roofs. So yeah, I'm not a builder, but anything's possible when you do the research and put some time towards things.